she still had some time before meeting him. Alita busied herself wandering the museum's classical wing. This section of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, really all artifacts of the Greco-Roman world depicting human bodies, had a haunting quality Alita was never able to shake, on account of long-ago words from her mother. During a childhood visit to this museum, Alita had asked her about the statue's origins, a sensible question for a little girl immersed in a hall of endless, naked stone bodies. Her mother answered this way: "Statues are people who have died." Perhaps her phrasing worked for adult ears, but not so for a child. What Alita's child ears heard, her mother speaking like the tongue of the priestess Pythia, sparse in words but full of story, was, "When you died, your skin calcified into stone. You were displayed naked with floodlights, exposed and exhibited in a mansion of stone death, a mute spectacle to a passing parade of people. You were worshipped but not touched, and you yourself could no longer feel. Worse yet, this condition was something that could be shared. If you felt the coldness of the stone of the statue, if you touched the stone of anything that the statue was pedestaled upon and felt its coolness, you would become a statue too." Alita actively avoided touching her skin to the museum's stone walls, its stone stairs. Alita did not want to become a statue. The statues on display depicted young adult bodies in their aesthetic and reproductive prime. Males had chiseled muscles incongruously paired with adolescent-sized pubic patches, the sexual tastes of ancient Greece. Marble in the form of fleshy women with orbed breasts and hair thick, curled, and full of life. Like Alita's, now. She was that age too. For vanity's sake, sure, life could take her now, have her installed there in all her youthful glory. But she didn't believe in such myths anymore, despite the uneasiness she still felt. And neither did her mother, for her mother denied ever telling her such a thing in the first place when Alita asked her in adulthood. She had 1 hour until meeting Jean. Calculating the time it took to walk across the park, plus the subway ride downtown, her device flashed the estimation. She had these 25 minutes to spare. What would she tell Jean? This was less a question than what he'd tell her, and more why she felt compelled to meet him. The statue she stopped in front of was a Venus derivative, part of a special exhibit on loan from Greece and at the Met for a limited time. The head was lopped off, as were the arms and much of the legs, leaving just the vital torso, pubic area, and thighs. Whether a barbaric act of vandalism against the female pagan, or a natural consequence of being weathered by time, the divine female was reduced to a triangle. But what a delightful triangle it was! Partially robed in a sheer chiton, draped over the breasts, erect nipples, a stomach that announced itself by the contour of the omphalos, then the delta. Here was where Alita's thoughts left her. She was not so much visiting the museum as finding a place to park her physical body while the rest of her drifted through the netherworlds of calculated adult decision-making. In her, often in the guise of dreaming. But a body she did have, even if she denied it at the moment, and she ought to have noticed that while she wished to penetrate the embodiment of love, the puzzle she was trying to crack at this moment, the statue's chiton actually crisscrossed in straps against the chest, separating the breast into 2 compartments, more military badges than free-floating orbs inviting human hands to caress or mouths to suckle. This was Alita's grave mortal mistake, to assign to the body flesh rituals that also opened her heart to men, when really she was born under a different star, constructed for a life where men were but tools in a military game, not something to give enamored permission to mount her. The Romans merged sexual allure with the victories of violence, and all might have been well, and would have been well for Alita, if women were worshipped in this complete way. Forgotten, too, was how the gods inhabit epithets, as well as possess claims to their own exclusive children. Alita looked up at the museum clock, wondered where the 25 minutes went, and set out to meet Jean.